In the countdown, everything's on the line. We gotta win, or we pack up and we go home.
First race of the countdown. Every time you step into your race car, what you do could impact whether you are a world champion at the end of the year or not. There's a ton of pressure in these moments.
Yeah, I mean, last year when I came in, I debuted 2 races before we started countdown, and you could feel the difference on those 2 races when you're kind of setting it up for the countdown and when it actually hits. You get hit ready, and the vibes are high. I mean, I spent 2 days now in top end, like Friday night and all day Saturday, and everything counts. When you get out of the car, everybody says bonus points, bonus points. That's what it's all about. And they also say that every time they line up, even in qualifying, they take it as race day. They want to make sure they beat the other person in the line, they're quicker off the line, and they have a good ET. So it's very cool for all the fans here in the house to get to see that form of racing and that mindset that the drivers have.
The countdown for the championship is a playoff format.
Throughout the final 6 races, everything pretty much gets wiped away, and you have at least 10 cars that are grouped very closely together.
We got a couple races to go, but it gets really into crunch time now.
In the countdown, there is no room for mistake.
Well, the regular season, it brings a little bit of pressure because it's a marathon race. And when you look at it, you got 16 races to wake up. And what I mean wake up is prepare, get ready, get right, get tight to go into the playoffs of the season, which is the last 6 races. The last 6 races is your whole year's worth of work bundled up in one. So you gotta come out and showcase what you learned all year and not make a mistake, not make a flaw, and go out there and just execute pure excellence to get it done.
You're gonna make sure you make no mistakes. You have just such a high expectation. You know, I've been losing sleep, I've been stressed out.
It gets so intense, and then you find out what the team, what the crew chiefs, and what the drivers are really made of.
Antron Brown is the one who, when you say that, pops into my head.
Absolutely.
We came into this event last year in Top Fuel, and Antron Brown, it's not that he was an afterthought. He was a 3-time world champion, but they came into this event, they were not top 3 in points.
Absolutely.
They did not have the best regular season. They won here, and when we got to Pomona at the end of the year, Antron Brown was a 4-time world champion. That momentum started here on Sunday on race day.
This is what it all comes down to, is 6 races to the finish. No mulligans, no do-overs. The intensity is at an all-time high, and we have to go out here and execute perfection to repeat as a champion. This is the countdown. This is a very special moment for me with my uncle, because all the precious time he's given me throughout my childhood to now to give me the support that I needed to chase my dreams and run for championships.
Now, you ain't gonna even know how much different you're gonna, and look, the other car needs to be the same way.
Oh yeah.
Because what happens is, your head should never touch any of the roll cage padding, because if it does, it'll blur your vision. It'll look like the car's blurry going down the track. And you think like, what's wrong with my vision? Like now when you go down there, your helmet ain't touching that. It's gonna be crystal clear. You're gonna be looking like this, you're like this. Oh man, I can see.
You know, coming back to a hometown track, which is literally Ready Maple Grove, it's literally about an hour away from where I grew up at. And when I get to come here, it's heartwarming, because you get to come back and see the elements that created and made me into the person I am today. My uncle was like my dad every day. Now that should stop you from, you should be able to move the helmet around.
Yes.
Yeah, man, that's what you're supposed to. Well, the problem is, I know why you took him out. You took him out because that helmet wasn't turning.
Yeah.
Because you in there like this, you try to go like this, you couldn't move, because all that stuff was all locked up in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just leave it. Hey, yeah, there you go. Now, see when you turn? Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be, huh? Yeah. See that? Now, your cheek, and it's not, because they make ones that are thicker than that too. You can get thicker. You got ones that are skinnier. Those are medium-sized pads, what I use.
Wow.
See, like you should feel on your cheek. See how it stabilizes the helmet?
Stable. Yeah.
So now when you get in there now, but now it'll work good because all this stuff is right.
Right, yeah.
Like if you ever get in the car ain't right, you gotta get somebody on the outside to take a picture of it or a video of it so you can see what's going on.
because that all your stuff was all jacked up.
So to come back and to race with him, it brings me joy because it feels good to be here to support him, how he supported us growing up as kids.
You get down the bottom of the hill, let you get dressed up. You got it?
Come on.
But that's good. But
Yeah.
you felt more comfortable going down the track though with the way that seat
Oh
was.
yeah, that made a big difference. Yeah, and then I was late on the light. I seen that.
Well. No. The good part was you missed a tree, but you were still 027.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So now tomorrow, when you hit it right, you should be in the teens. Like, how much do you feel like you were late? You were a little bit late, huh?
Yeah, well I seen it because normally when it first comes down, I'm letting loose, and it was a hesitate a little bit. It would have been a team.
Yeah, you should have been a team because those numbers don't lie. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
it would have been a team.
So if you leave it like that tomorrow, you'll be a team tomorrow, and then you go from there, and then you could drive the big end. All right.
All right, bye.
Okay, bye-bye. All I got to do is get him tightened up. That's all I got to do is get him tightened up. I do, and that's what coming to hometown, because we always have fun, we crack jokes, but we have a good time. Clean fun.
That's exactly it. I think everybody here's having fun too, right?
Yes.
I know you have a full slate today. It's getting a little
One thing
noisy
is, I just want to leave a note with everybody. We just want to thank you on behalf of NHRA Drag Racing for coming out and supporting us, because you know what? Y'all can do a lot of other things, but we love having y'all out here. I love y'all, and we're going to go up there and light it up for y'all today, okay? All right, thank you.
Four-time champion, reigning champion, Antron Brown.
It's a lot. You know, you stay up, you lose sleep, you put a lot on yourself, and you know, any mistake you make, you want to make sure none of it had anything to do with your area. You're going to go through and double check yourself, triple check yourself. You're going to check as many times as you can. We'll work hours non-stop until that race car's ready. You're not ready, and it don't matter what time of day it is. It don't matter what time of the morning, what time of night. If it's your regular day shift, you know, a lot of people think, oh, you show up and it's glory, you get to work on a race car. Oh, and it is. You know, we're all grateful for our jobs, but at the end of the day, it's a lot of work. And you know, most of the time, like especially with this grind coming up, like we won't go to bed until this race car's ready to go tomorrow. And even then, we'll show up and we'll sleep on things and think about it overnight, and then it's all right the next morning. Guess what? We got more work for ourselves because we realized, hey, we might have missed something. We got to check that. We got to check this. And you know, there'll be days you put in 16 hours. There'll be days you put in 3 hours. You never know what's going to come behind. And a lot of the grind is a lot of those 16-hour days, and a lot more than you would expect to be. You know, it's just like we showed up 7 hours earlier today and got the car ready. We checked a lot of things. We made some changes. Went through our stuff and double checked our stuff, and then, you know, we're gonna go make 2 hits, and this is kind of, you know, this is where we're happy now, is car's ready to run, car's started, we're gonna take it up to the line and go see how it does. Now this is kind of crew chief stress time. We get to relax as crew guys, but as soon as that car comes back, it's non-stop grind. You wanna make sure you're not missing anything. You wanna make sure your car's going back together exactly the same way, especially if you make a good run. You wanna make sure that you repeat that good run. And that's where a lot of the stress comes into effect is, you know, I can make a mistake. It could be as different as putting a different bolt in the car, and it just makes a whole new change. And you just want to make sure you don't have little mistakes being made.
A chance at personal best. We will roll through the qualifying session, but one thing that is super important for everybody to know is that this is race 1 of the playoffs.
It is.
Everything changes.
Absolutely. This opens a lot of new doors.
Next pair on the starting
We're sitting
line.
right here, 50-50.
Yep.
Josh Hart,
I'm like
Clay
the
Milligan,
35-30.
Cars commentary.
Points have been reset. We are coming in off the Cornwell Tools U.S. Nationals, the biggest single race of the drag racing schedule. But now we reset and restart here at Reading, Pennsylvania. And I don't know about you, Ida, but the pits seem packed to me. And as much as this session has been a little disjointed, as you see the ride along with the Summit Racing Equipment onboard camera of Antron's machine right before it puffs the tires, Brittany power on, all the way to the stripe. There's been a bit of a on-again, off-again session, but what this has done is delay the session, which means we're going to run later into the evening, which means we're going to have better opportunity for fast cars tonight.
That's very true.
How about that?
Come get it right, get it tight. Fast turnaround. That was really close around the edge of it. It was really, really close. But we want to get it this next run. We'll get after it.
Antron Brown, a man who won this race just a year ago, and that helped him secure a championship in Pomona.
It was a huge, huge milestone. Tony Stewart, NASCAR Hall of Famer, IndyCar champ, USAC Silver Crown champ, comes into the world of drag racing, second year in, wins Top Fuel regular season championship, scores the victory, one for the ages, but now there's another championship to go for.
And they both hazed the tires at nearly the same spot. And let's be real, that has been the kind of Achilles on both of these cars this season.
How cold is it outside? You're going to go out there and run 67, 66 right now. 66, 67. Like dropping the draw, not running 65, 76, one thing is that you feel for the guys, you feel for the crew chiefs because they put their blood, heart, and sweat into this thing to make this thing go. And the hardest part is that the tracks throw you curveballs at times. And this is the first countdown race, and we have cool conditions, and you're thinking that the track's going to be like really good where you could throw down, and the track was mediocre. So that's the hardest part, is judging that and then making the right calls. And some teams do and some teams don't. That's why you saw 50-50 the car, 50% of the cars made it, 50 of them didn't, because you're thinking the tracks were like really, really good. So that being said, is well, I know in our past we got to suck it up. Tomorrow's a new day, and tomorrow's going to be like how we race. So our main focus tomorrow is to try to get that thing down the track and get ready for race day, and then. That's going to be our game plan right now. We can't let it beat you up or beat you down. It's only one day, and tomorrow, we run early tomorrow, so we'll have a chance the first lap to see if the track comes around where we get after a little bit more and make a better go at it.
It's been a huge change. I mean, it's completely different from moving to Indiana from Florida and adapting to a whole new environment, working on a car that doesn't really exist anywhere else but here, and and starting in the middle of a season, it's been a lot. I don't wear the weight as the defending champions, but I still wear a little bit of the same pressure, trying to do my job as good as I can, because I still have to show out for these guys and make sure that I'm performing at the right expectation. But as far as in the countdown, it feels like another race for me. I definitely could imagine us getting better and better as the race goes on, and I hope we win again. I hope I can be a part of this championship team.
Thornwood, New York's Kyle Sattenstein, and the defending event winner, the reigning and four-time Top Fuel World Champion, Antron Brown, to kick off Nitro on a Saturday.
But in my opinion, setting the pace for the countdown in Reading, Maple Grove is the most important race when it comes to points.
Sattenstein took the tires off at about 400 feet, and Antron was just behind him.
Let's keep on getting farther. We made it to half track almost that time, so now if we get through that, we'll make it all the way down, and hopefully we'll make a good enough run to pop us up in the top half of the field now. So just can't quit. So this is what race day is going to be like tomorrow. So it's going to be a free ball game to race everybody. So we got to get down the track and make it happen.
Car. And Antron Brown from Atco Tools hangs the first MVP that Lucas Oil Toyota. First pair, final qualifying, top of the field. Can Antron move off the number 15 spot? No, he's got a cylinder out at the step. They're going to keep with it. 393, 317. I cannot believe they legged that out, but I guess when you're trying to pick up a spot, you do things like that, and he does pick up one spot. So Antron goes from 15th to 14th, but I mean, that car had a cylinder out the second he stepped on the throttle.
Which one do you want? Which one I need? God, no. Oh, congested. I am congested. That's what you gotta go through sometimes, you know. You beat up, you broke down. You gotta get something to get you right and tight. Pretty. Not feeling good, but it'll be all right. Toyota, take me home.
Stupid, because that's why I call it drag racing and not drag winning.
Drag racing can be a drag. Sugar, no man. Look at that. There's some brown sugar. Oh, shoot. Oh, God.
Hasta mañana.
Peace. Time to go get it in the morning. Couldn't. Feels like allergies, but it feels like I don't know what it is. Could be just a head cold too. I think it's more than allergies. Yeah, I'll tell you. No matter what you're going through or how bad you feel, it don't make a difference. If you want to be a champion, you gotta pull through all the crap. Sometimes you don't feel good, sometimes you feel like crap. It don't make a difference.
Yeah, I always say there's no sick days in racing, so you can't call in sick and take the day off. I've been very sick at some races, and it's hard to do because driving a car, being the driver, you know, as opposed to a crew guy or the tuner is a very mental thing, and you want to be on point mentally, and when you're not feeling well, it's horrible. And last night Antron was not doing well at all, you know, so I advised him that loading up on cold medicine is not really a good idea when you have to drive, because antihistamines and stuff like that can put you off on your reaction time. And in the countdown, there is no room for mistake. I mean, there is just absolutely no time for being sick. There's no room for mistakes. Every single point matters. You know, he has to be on point. The team has to be on point. The car has to be on point. First round is lucrative. You know, you got to get past it. And if he is delayed because he's mentally exhausted or just not there with his reaction times because of medicine, it could be disastrous for the championship.
But then last night, like I was all congested. I took a shower, woke up in the middle of the night, took a shower to clear up, and then I took all my Flonase, like for my allergy stuff, to clear up. Feeling better now, but kicked my butt last night. I'm glad I laid down early though. You know you gotta mess up when you can't lay down flat. I gotta lay with my head up against the backboard like headboard.
The energy here is palpable. The fans are stacked up. The traffic's going in every which direction.
You know, it comes down to who can handle the pressure. From the driver's standpoint, from the tuner's standpoint, it's not win or go home, but it's not far from it. You can't, no excuses. It's not, we're testing, we're trying parts. We're here to win a championship, and we'll see who's up to the task.
Well, for me, this is my favorite time of the season. Not because the trees are pretty and leaves are gonna change colors, are gonna fall off, but the pressure mounts, the urgency for everyone and everything mounts. You can see that twinkle in the drivers that made the countdown, that twinkle in the eye. outside, thinking that they have a bit of hope. But if you look at the first round matchups, you can see some pairings that can make them, but it could also break them in one race.
And it's a place that brings out the biggest names in the sport, including Doug Coletta and Antron Brown. The Matco Tools Top Fuel car, the Mac Tools Top Fuel car. Jordan, this isn't just a battle of the tool companies. This could be a battle for somebody's entire Countdown Championship hopes. Both men champions, both men Hall of Famers down the road. Antron's car quivered the tire. We're taking both of them to the stripe and an explosion for Brown.
Yeah, it's just one of these weekends where you work really hard and you're fighting hard, and every time you get tripped over, you get back up, something else just knocks you down. And man, I tell you what, our team was resilient. They never stopped fighting. And then to add some more salt in the wound, I came down with a bad allergy attack, and my sinuses are kicking my butt. So just trying to manage all that and get through it is one of those deals where it shows you what you're made of. And all of our guys have been working their tail off. In that first elimination round, we haven't made down the track not one run this weekend, and we kept on getting better and better and closer and closer. And right now it's just a bummer. It's the first race of the countdown. It kind of knocks the wind out your sails because you want to gain momentum and you got to make up points. So we just lost some points. We got 5 races left. So 5 races, basically we got to do, we got to go out there and just keep our head down, try to win all of them. And it's definitely making us hungry. It's making us just get medieval, where we need to go out there, and we need to go out there and do what we do, and that's win rounds. If we win rounds, everything else takes care of itself.
And to reflect on team leadership and teamwork, I can't imagine a better person to talk about that than our good friend and incredibly accomplished leader, Antron Brown. Come on up, Nate.
This last race, we heard a motor, it blew up. We actually pulled a main stud. Another guy that does blowers, not ever worked on about him, came up, he goes, hey, well, when I was on my other team, I solved this and this, and we found out the coarse threads don't work as good as a fine thread, so we need to put an insert in it. So we put a different insert to fix the problem. But that was collaborating. That's how you get ahead. That's how you move forward. And for me in racing, we have to do our stuff very, very, very fast. We messed up the first race in the countdown. So our first race in the countdown, we overpowered the racetrack because we were too aggressive, because we wanted to come out and show a statement and do what we did last year. So now we have to regroup for Charlotte, where we're only 90 points out of first because the points are still tight, less than 100 points. What we have to do is we have to come out where we have to be flawless. And I looked at my guys before I left the track. We tested on Monday after this last race. And this is a story that's going to see how it plays out in the next 5 races. I said, all right, team. I go, we messed up. Yes. I said, so my question to each and every, how are we going to respond? Why has everybody got their head down for it? We have 5 races left. How are we going to dig ourselves out of the hole that we're in, that we know we're capable of? I said, I'm going to tell you what, we're not perfect, but I said what we can do from here on out is that we can come to this next race, and I said we're going to attack every round and we're going to race the racetrack and give the racetrack what we think that it can handle, and we're going to do the best job we can. And the only way we could be perfect is we can't have a flaw, that's a mechanical issue. We can't have a parts failure. We can't have the $5 parts break us where we don't make a run. We got to be flawless on that. The only way we could be flawless is if we all overlap each other and catch each other before we go out there. It's okay if we make a mistake in the pits, but we got to catch it before it goes down the racetrack. And that's how championships are won.
Be right back to more action. Pull forward here in 4 wide lanes. Green, E91 on the timer.
A lot of the regular season is a testing ground for the countdown. So yeah, you want to have your stuff all figured out by the time you get to the countdown. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you got a curveball and you got to figure it out in those 6 races. I look at the parts every run, and based off of the tune-up for that weekend, for the whatever the error was, and then I make my changes run to run. I don't go out there necessarily and just throw caution to the wind and say, oh, we're going to blow it up. No, never. Now, blowing it up comes from tires spinning, keeping your foot in it to the finish line, and that's what happened on E1 last week. Antron wants to win just as bad as anybody on the team, and it was close, even spinning the tires to beating Coletta. Sometimes you can get away with spinning the tires like that, and sometimes you can't. That's part of racing. But if the car isn't responding to what I'm doing on the tune-up, and if it's over center, if it's not running as well, we tune it up. And if it's hurting parts, I back off the tune-up. Now, we have a lot of data for a lot of years of racing. Now, there is better parts that get put on the car, like we have a little different blower case this year. And we took the mud flaps off the car this year. So there's a lot of things that I've been trying through the year to yield the maximum ET out of the car for the given parts on the car. And I'm going to keep going down that road, but I got to be a little more careful, you know, in races to come. And this one here is going to be a hot race. You know, after we leave this race, I think maybe St. Louis could be warm, but after that, everything starts to tighten right up. So then that's when you want to have that, you know, ET to win.
Antron, though, sneakily got back into it last year with that win. If he's going to win another championship, they got to make some hay here this week. .382.2, Antron Brown, best of the quad. 328.70 miles per hour for Antron.
Felt good. That's the thing about it, is that's the whole thing about starting about running right now. The most important, crucial thing, you'll see this weekend how it plays out. When you get the first run down the racetrack, it sets the tone for the whole weekend, so you're working, you're never a run behind. So when you hear that saying to people, I'm gonna run behind, that means they missed the first run. So if you get a run like that, pretty much everybody got to feel the track. Now everybody's gonna work on it to make it better. So for us, we're in that ball game. So our whole goal right now is to keep on pressing and to keep improving and move up the ladder and get better in qualifying. Our whole goal right now is getting that top 5 now. So we made it first run down the racetrack, got a good run to go off of, and now we can push after that. Brandon, what's the words of advice, man, for this race? Come on, man. Come on.
Don't smoke in bed.
Oh, I don't smoke at all, so can't smoke in bed. It's time to get it right, get it tight.
It's not perfect, but it's close enough where I'm afraid to move it. That's what I'm afraid of. But it feels really good in and out.
You used to say that to me back in your day?
I don't remember saying that.
It feels really good.
Perfect. Did you ever say that?
You sound like you were certain.
I don't remember that.
That's good stuff.
Bring that up.
That's good stuff. We're gonna go out here. The real speech is we're gonna kick some booty and take some names. We ain't even gonna take no names because we ain't putting them in jail. We're putting them in the ground, baby. That's what we do, right, Chris? We put them in the ground.
That's it. So we're not taking prisoners because we don't want to feed them.
No, we ain't feeding them. Yeah, we ain't got no money to feed them.
Good look here for 3 out of the 4. A 375 for Antron Brown, now the #1 qualifier. And for Antron Brown, this is 2 in a row. You know, and when you notice the pattern, when that team does better, they seem to start out good. They get progressively better. And I think the real question is how much quicker are the cars that are seeing these runs and seeing how good the racetrack is, how much quicker can they go?
Yeah, so day 1 in the books here at Charlotte. We did good. We got 2 laps there. We ended up number 7. So tomorrow is going to be a little bit hotter. So basically tomorrow is going to be getting ready for race day because we start racing at 11:30. So to run at 12:30 tomorrow is going to pretty much set us up for first round. So tomorrow our goal is to go out there and get after the crucial bonus points. So if we could be low in a round of each round tomorrow, you can pick up 6 more points there, which is crucial too. So we've been through this right now. This is the time we're in the trenches, and we're in war right now, and all the teams are definitely doing well. All these teams are out here. They're definitely stepping up. You can see all the top cars. Number 7 is 75 with 0, number 1's is 69 with an 8. So literally within 500s, not even 500s, like 600 separates the top 8, the top 9 cars. So it's anybody's race when you get to that point, and we could be dangerous, and we're going underneath the radar. So hopefully people don't see us coming, but you can always say that, but they always see when you have number 1 on your lane too, so they know what we're capable of and what we do. So we just gotta do what we do. That's all we can control right now. So, but I like where we're at right now. Four wide, it brings a whole different dynamic because you're racing 2 additional competitors, and the 2 that win goes on to the next round. So with that being said is that you have to ante up, and you have to be the one that's up on that chopping block to be better and to go forward.
You have these 6 races, and you really want to take advantage of every opportunity. When you have 14 races in the regular season, of course you want to take advantage of every opportunity, but if you make a mistake here and there, you can live with it and learn and adjust. But when you're in the countdown, whether it's qualifying or race day specifically, those first or second round exits, they'll really, really hurt you at the end and really affect your chance to win a championship. So the margin for error maybe goes from being this big to this big in a hurry.
You can win enough of those points where it's a round difference nearing the end of the season. Like we got a couple of races to go, but it gets really into crunch time now.
I talked with Antron Brown up at the top end yesterday, and it's interesting because if you know Antron Brown or if you've seen him doing interviews, he's a very positive man, keeps everything really light. But Antron Brown is very motivated to change the narrative of where people think he's at in this countdown.
Antron Brown is probably the most competitive person I ever met. And if you tell him he can't do something, he's going to kill himself showing you that he can.
He's an assassin.
Antron's the most competitive person I've ever met.
Where he swept the swing many years ago, he had everything on the line, trying to make history, and despite everything that was on the line, none of that changed, and I learned the importance of continuing to be who you are from him, and I think that he set a great example for me.
But Antron, man, he just has a natural talent. There's a handful of people out here like that.
Early in the morning.
They'll be dropping mirrors.
Oh, Lord have mercy. That's the last thing we need. Somebody dropping a mirror. Alright. Got everything. It's time to go. Today's the second race of the countdown. Today we're just gonna keep our head down and we're gonna go to work, fellas. Go to work, 1 round at a time. We're gonna stay humble, we're gonna stay hungry. We ain't gonna get ahead of ourselves. Just 1 step at a time. We get through the first step, then we're gonna worry about the second step. That's it. That's it.
And this is race day, Sunday. The 4-wide Nationals, the first ever in the playoffs. It doesn't get better than this. The pressure, the intensity, the quads, all you have to do is advance in the top 2, and then you move on. Eventually, the final quad, whoever gets there first is the race winner, and will lead the points for the championship.
The intensity here in Charlotte is ramped up. It is the countdown, the second race, and the intensity is going to start on the starting line. It's a new look for drivers with 4 lanes to deal with. There will be some starting line mishaps, and then there is 1 less round. There's only 3 rounds here today, so with each round, the intensity is going to ramp up, and the importance of it is big.
Josh Hart, Antron Brown, Doug Coletta. And Antron Brown needs a round win. And Antron's going to get through along with Doug. 375.7, Doug Coletta. 378.0, Antron Brown.
Antron Brown entered into this weekend 9th in the points, so we know how crucial every round win is. As the reigning Top Fuel champion, where is your operation right now, Antron?
No, we got to come back right now, Amanda, and the work's out there is cut out for us, and we just want this to go out there, keep our head down, man, and go out there with Doug and get through that round. Josh Hart was putting it down right now, man, and everybody's out there got some weapons out there, man, but right now we just got to keep our head focused and keep our eyes on the prize and see how many rounds we can go today.
Antron Brown's Brian Corradi tuned Matco Tools Toyota in lane number 1 to the reigning and 4-time world champion. Nobody has won at this track in Top Fuel more than AB has. Loves Z-Max, 7 wins on. Antron Brown goes 384.4, coupled with an 064 reaction time. And we'll get there.
Sean Langdon will pick his lane, followed by Justin Ashley, then Doug, then Clay Milliken. Good job to Mike, Tommy, and the guys. We'll go back looking at the final. He follows the round and loses as he's won for the final.
God, dog it, man. All we needed was 2 freaking fouls. I couldn't be freaking like 50 or 60. Had to be 64 on the tree. We were like 865, 219. We did just enough to lose by 2,000 of a freaking second to Clay. I couldn't even cut. Damn it! Why couldn't I just cut 50 like in the final?
We're not out of it. So that hill just feels that much steeper. Get your climbing gear out. Boy, we're gonna need it.
And that's the hardest part when in drag racing. You could be a hero one week and a zero the next. But the one thing I can tell you one thing is that we never stop getting after it. So we've got St. Louis next weekend, and we've been charged up. I'm ready to get back after it. I know all the guys, Brian, Brad, these Matco, Lucas Oil, Toyota, Hanksterfors, FVP, boys, Summit Racing, Equipment, Genesis, all the people that give us support and love. Man, we're coming back, man, and we've got the support in our corner. But this what makes you a champion. You know, it's not because you win. It's how do you bounce back. And the competition is really stiff out there. It's tough right now, so we got to go do the work, and we got to come and show up, and we're ready for that. It's never over until it's over. And with the last race being 1.5 points, we just don't need to worry about counting points and knowing where it's at. We just got to go out there and we got to dominate. And we know how hard that is in the field, the way it's stacked, but we got to go out there and do what we know how to do. And trust me, this team that we have right here, we've been through the thick of it, and we know how crucial it is, and we know how to lock in, and now it's time to get locked in.